Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 27 of the Last Heart podcast. DJ, spin it!
Heart podcast. You are listening to the Last Heart. You are listening to the Last Heart podcast.
What is up, everybody? How is your week? How's it been? Or if you're listening to this, how's your week going? Or, hopefully it starts off great. I don't know how you've been. It's been a while. But, are you ready for Thanksgiving to come up next weekend? Oh, man. I am so ready for it. The turkey, the baked potatoes, the sweet potatoes, the desserts. I could go on for days. I could literally list all my favorite Thanksgiving treats for the rest of this podcast if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. No, I have too much to talk about, or too much that I want to talk about. I had a great show at the comedy club last Wednesday. It turned out way better than the one before, which thankfully it did. It was great. No one pissed on my tire this time. Come on, that has to be a pro, if anything. And thanks for everybody that did come out. I don't know when my next one's going to be. I don't know if I'm going to be doing one before Christmas or not, because Christmas is coming up pretty quick. The end of this year, the end of 2020 is coming up very, very fast. I'm going to have to make a new resolution soon. I have to think of a new resolution. I already have to think of a new one. This year, I didn't get to achieve my resolution, which was, I think my resolution was to steal my best friend's girlfriend. But, I'll give myself a 50% on that one because they did break up. So then technically, it was about 50-50 on that one. I didn't get her. But I definitely, they're not together anymore. So I think I deserve at least a 50% on it. A 50%. So I halfway did my resolution. I succeeded halfway. But this coming up year, 2021, new resolutions gonna be coming in. I like watching people, do videos on how they did their resolutions that year or whatever. I'm like, oh, so inspirational. So awesome. God. Well, you better pack up and get ready because Dawson's going to be coming in and he's going to complete his resolution for 2021 unless whole sweeping new, virus comes in again or whatever. Then I'll be just tucked into my bed again all next year. If we get the fourth or fifth or sixth big wave of COVID that's going to be coming around. Oh, man. But I got some sad news. I know a lot of people have talked about it and I know some of y'all already know it, or a lot of you know, and I know all the grandparents that are out there. If there's any grandparents listening, old people, we lost Alex Trebek. He's gone. He was a great host and just a great person in general. Alex Trebek. I have nothing else to say about that. My biggest thing is that of how he went out. He went out on baller status. Okay, all he did for his last days here on this planet is he sat in his chair next to his wife. There was another chair. They just literally watched the views. That's all they did. That's what he did with his last day on this planet. That's when you know that you've done great with your life. You've succeeded. You've gotten all the blessings. Your whole life is completed. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people can't say that they could literally be like, wow, I've done everything that I wanted to do in my life. Well, Alex did. And all he wanted to do was look at a sunset or just in the views and the nature with his wife on his last day. And that is literally magical. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to strive to have such a great life that when I get diagnosed, or if I ever get diagnosed with something like that all I want to do on my last day is just look at the views. That's it. That's all I want to do. But it was great. That's why this podcast is partially just going to be basically dedicated a little bit to Alex Trebek. He has made an impact in a lot of people's lives, and I'm going to dedicate this podcast to him. This is the Alex Trebek, send off. It's basically just an in tribute to him, and being in tribute to him. A little bit every so often, my phone alarm is going to go off, and I got to answer a question, Alex Trebek style, Jeopardy style. I will basically, as soon as my alarm goes off, I'll click it, then I'll click on a random question that I have. It's a little, randomized question app that I have, and I just click on it, and it'll give me a random question. I'll answer it just like how they would in Jeopardy, and then we would move on still with what I'm talking about in the podcast. I don't know. I've never done anything like this, so we'll see where this goes. I don't know where it's going to go, but we're doing this tribute to Alex, and that's what I'm going to do with it, is answer certain questions in Jeopardy form. But I don't know how much time. We'll just have to see when the alarm goes off. How about that? Oh, man. I've been listening to a lot of music lately. A lot of music. And the reason why I want to talk about music and bring up music is because a lot of people don't understand about how much music impacts our daily lives. I literally listen to music every single day. Every single day. And there's people that, I've known people that come up to me and they're like, oh, Dawson, I don't really listen to music. I don't listen to music, which is surprising to me. Because I think of music as like some sort of a mood ring. I think that I call music a mood ring. Because your friend or your parents or whatever could be like saying like they're completely fine, but then as soon as they start playing a certain kind of song or they put on a certain kind of playlist, you're like, yeah, they are okay. They're playing a Jamie playlist. Or you're like, they kind of lied to me. They're listening to some sad stuff right now. So music really says a lot about what kind of a person you are. It depicts on what mood. I mean, there's a lot of different things about music that I just absolutely love. And I've loved music ever since I was little because just specifically how much it involved with my life and my parents' lives. I mean, I grew up listening to like a bunch of things. Everything in the early 2000s I listened to. That was on the hip hop side of things, like the Nelly, the 50 Cent, the Yin Yang Twins, the Little Johns. I mean, I listened to all that stuff. And then my parents got divorced. And then my dad went on to this Red Hot Chili Peppers, Audio Slave, Depeche Mode area. He totally went off and drifted someplace else. And then my mom started listening to the Eminem Recovery album. And then that's when I got really hooked into Eminem. And it was just, I mean, I'm telling you, you can just tell by the moods. As soon as my parents got divorced, they went to a different kind of playlist. My mom went full-blown recovery album. So, if you've listened to that album and grown up listening to that album, more likely you have divorced parents. That's what that sounds like to me. It may not be, but at least for my instance, and a lot of people other instances, if you listen to Eminem, or you listen to Eminem a lot, you come from a divorced family. That's just that's just what I have gathered. But I mean, I've been also listening to a lot of The Weeknd. I don't know if y'all know who The Weeknd is, but you know what? Actually, I will play a little bit of his music. I'm actually just in that mood. I'm just in a great mood. I'm going to play a little bit of his music for you. Hold on 1 second. Oh, I got you on that one, didn't I? Gave you a little bit of a teaser. You thought you were going to be singing for a minute, but no. Sadly, you're not. You know why? Because I'm not playing The Weeknd for the whole rest of my podcast. I got too many things to talk about in order to play the rest of his song, but you get the point. Did you hear enough the octave for you to be able to tell and be able to see that The Weeknd is just like one of the most greatest sounding people on the planet? I mean, seriously. He's like, I don't know. I would love to marry his voice. That's my point. If his voice was a woman, it would be I don't know, Margot Robbie. Oh, she sounds good just out of the mouth right now. I mean, wouldn't you say she's attractive? I would. Oh God, man. So just imagine The Weeknd literally sounds as hot as Margot Robbie is, and boom, there you go. That's why I listen to him, because every time I listen to his voice, it gives me goosebumps. Just oh man, The Weeknd. He's a great artist, and I've been listening to him a lot recently. But you know what I can't listen to? Country. Country, I just can't vibe with it. Country is definitely a music genre that I just cannot mess with at all. It literally sounds like a whole family tree having a brothel. I'd literally rather take two pencils and just stab them into my ears at the exact same time and just not be able to hear anymore than having to listen to the crap that the country genre that has been putting out for the past, I don't know, just years. I cannot stand country at all. None of my friends play country, I don't think. Probably because I have the aux constantly in the car, or period. But definitely, I do not play any country. Don't play country. Don't even mention country around me. Just ding ding. Well, what up? I don't even know. That's what it sounds like to me. Just barf. Just straight barf. Like, you know, like if a terrorist, like if I was, you know, somewhat needed in information and a terrorist took me and they just tied me all up and they were like, okay, we need to get information out of you. You either tell us what we need to know or we're going to make you listen to the Zac Brown band for 1 hour. I'm like, oh, actually not even 1 hour. We're going to make you listen to one Zac Brown band song. You don't have to make me listen to one Zac Brown band song. I'll tell you this much. I'll tell you whatever you need to know. If I have to listen to Toes, I think that's one of their songs. And the only reason why I know that freaking song is because some guy that I think it was a high school thing. I think he was like on the way to a football game or a basketball game or something. And they play that stupid song, and I cannot get it out of my head now. It just like pops up every so often. It's like PTSD. Whenever that song pops in my head, I instantly just have a meltdown. I'm like, oh, I gotta drop whatever I'm doing, and I just have to pray that this song gets out of my head. I got my toes in the water. Okay, never mind. I gotta take a minute. I just gotta pray real quick. I gotta take 1 second. I don't know. It's not out of my head. Darn it, Dawson. What did you do to yourself? Why did you do that? Oh, my God. Why did you do that to yourself? Now I'm not going to be able to get that song out of my head. The whole rest of this podcast, in the background, is just going to be Toes playing in my head constantly. I got my toes in the... Why did you do that to yourself? Why? But I'll tell you my favorite artist right now, though. He's got a funny name. He's groovy. He's in the rap genre. Put your hands together for Ski Mask the Slump God. Water. If y'all don't know who Ski Mask the Slump God is, please look him up. Please, he will change your life forever. If you like this rap genre just a little bit, you will like it even more, or you just have a new guy to listen to and add to your playlist, because he is amazing. His first off, he's funny, and then on top of that, he his flow and his wordplay is flawless, and his beats and raps are just jammy as hell. I mean, seriously, he's one of the only rappers that can literally rap about anything, and I will still jam out to it. He can rap about his love for Hitler, how he buys babies off the dark web, and how 9/11 is a hoax, and I would be like, this is gonna be my next jam. This is literally my whole year wrapped up in one song. Like, literally, this is my jam. I'm gonna blare it at at every stoplight. Just, yeah, something about Auschwitz. Something about how I'm buying babies off the dark web, and 9/11's fake. I'm just like, I don't even care. He's got little groovy beats that go along with it, and I cannot stop listening to him. Just masterpiece. I don't really like to glorify people much, but I don't know, when it comes to music and it comes to stuff that I listen to every single day, it's just got to be that way. It has to be. But you have to look him up. You have to look him up. It's a banger. Every one of his songs. If you're going to be friends with me, you definitely have to at least listen to one of his songs. And we have to at least enjoy one of them together while we're on car rides. Because car ride songs are important to me. They are. Because at nighttime when I'm driving back from somewhere, typically, I don't know what mood I would be in. I don't know. My genres are all over the place. Sometimes I kind of want to, listen to a rock maybe, like a soft rock. Or I may want to listen to some indie. I can jam out to some indie music. Or just some softer, vibey R&B, like Post Malone or something. I don't know. Whatever it is, that would be like my nighttime stuff. Like if I'm by myself. But if I'm with a group of people, I have my fire emoji playlist. And it goes hard. I plug in the aux, and whoever is in control of the volume knob, you better turn it almost all the way up. I think I'm gonna be deaf by the time I don't know. I'm gonna give it 55. I'm gonna give myself a solid 55. I'm gonna need hearing aids at 55 just because I rave every time I get into the car. I rave it out. Just give it a good old just jam. Even by myself. I love jamming by myself. Even though I cannot sing worth a flip, I can literally just jam in the shower, jam in the car. I even sneak an AirPod in, and I keep it under my beanie, and while I'm at work, I listen to music in my right ear sometimes. That's a little secret I'm telling you. If the people at my work don't even know. And if they ask me about this, I know you snitched. And that's one thing that I do not appreciate is a snitch. Especially over something to make me enjoy the place that I do not like going to all the time. I literally spend almost I spend like 40 hours a week there. And you're telling me that you can just snitch on me because I'm trying to enjoy music while literally the fact of being at that job, and there's suicide, and then there's music that somehow keeps that from happening and just keeps everything molding together. I'm gonna find out. And if you snitch, you're done. You're absolutely done. I'm done with you. I don't want to have anything to do with you. I don't want to associate one bit with a little snitch. Oh, man. Well, my alarm has not gone off yet, and I'm kind of curious of why. My alarm should have already gone off once by now, but it has not. I'm going to check my phone because I should be answering a question. There should be a question that, I didn't even set the alarm. Well, look at that, Dawson. You're a complete diptard. Way to go. Okay. I did not set an alarm for this time. I did not. But I am going to answer one of the questions that I should have been answering a while back. I think it should have been. I set it for every 10 minutes. I think I'm about, let me see exactly how much time. Oh, I at least set my timer. I'm exactly 18 minutes and 52 seconds into this podcast. It should have definitely been on right now. At least one of my questions. So, we're going to pretend an alarm went off, and I am now answering one of the questions. This is in dedication of Alex Trebek. First question that I'm going to be answering in Jeopardy style. What is it going to be? Who do you know that really reminds you of a character in a TV show or movie? Let me think about that one for a second. Okay, because I have never looked at one of these questions yet. I haven't, pre-looked at them. I'm literally just going off the top of my dome of these questions. So you got to give me a minute to actually think. Who do you know that really reminds you of a character in a TV show or movie? Okay, I'm just going to go with it right off the top of my head. I think Lamar Jackson would make a great addition to the Roach family. I don't know why, but I literally just thought about that. I've been thinking about that for a while. Every time I look at Lamar Jackson, I cannot think but just a roach. But not not any roach. The roach from Men in Black. Have you ever seen those little guys, those little skinny little creatures in Men in Black, the first one? Those roach guys that go, like, I think they open the door and they go, hey, what's up, Frankie, Frank? Yeah, that's exactly. Every time I look at Lamar Jackson's face, it's, hey, what's up, Frankie? How's it going? That's Lamar Jackson. He needs to be a part of that family. I could see it right in his face every time I see the little roaches. And Lamar Jackson, what's he gonna do about it? He's got millions of dollars. Who is he really gonna, cry about what a 20-year-old kid has to say over a podcast about him? No, I don't think so. And if he does, who cares? I wouldn't. You look like the little roach from Men in Black. Men in Black. There you go. What's up, Frankie? That's the look that he gives me. Is the "What's up, Frankie" look. I mean, even Google, like, totally just bashes this guy. Okay, let's go to Google. I did this earlier, and I just left it. I said, Lamar Jackson looks like, and I pressed space, and literally the top result came up, and it says Lamar Jackson looks like a bug. Lamar Jackson looks like a cartoon carrot, and Lamar Jackson looks like Samuel Jackson. Lamar Jackson, Samuel Jackson. Well, maybe it's because they're father and son. You never know. Is Lamar Jackson and Samuel Jackson father and son? Are they related? I don't think so. I don't think they're related at all, but I think I could get behind that. They do kind of look like each other. That's kind of weird that two guys with the same last name that have no correlation with each other and each other's bloodlines at all look alike. It's kind of suspicious. It raises an eyebrow, but even Google butchers this guy. So that is my answer to the first question of this podcast. Is that where was I going with this next? Oh, fun fact category. We're going right into the fun facts. I still have no music behind it, but who cares? We're gonna go along with it. Actually, you know what? Nah, never mind. I thought I had some music, but I don't. But fun fact category. Just make up a song in your head or play a song during this point. Pause the podcast, play some music or whatever, and then come back to this podcast because we're right into the fun fact segment. This is where I find a random fun fact or a random fact that's weird or goofy or whatever, or actually it's just a random fact that I find off the internet and I decide to talk about it with you guys. And the fact that I have for you today is sumo wrestlers make babies cry for good luck. Did you know that? Did you know? I'm going to repeat that again. Did you know that sumo wrestlers make babies cry for good luck? I thought that was a complete lie, but it's not. It turns out that it's actually a real thing. It's authentically something that they actually do. It's a 400-year-old Japanese tradition that if a sumo wrestler can make your baby cry, it means he or she will live a healthy life, or like win their fight that they're about to have. That's crazy. That's awesome. I can get behind that tradition. That's probably why I enjoy making people get offended and irritated when I do comedy and do stand-up. Because if I make at least one person offended, for some reason, it gives me the warm and fuzzies. I don't know why it does that, but I guess it's because, that means I'm about to have a, that means I'm going to have a great set. Like, if I get one person at least offended a little bit, then I'm going to have a good set. But if I get 0 people offended, I may bomb that night. That makes perfect sense. Thank you, Sumo Wrestling, for clearing that up. Oh, man. Probably, and also, I make babies cry every time I'm around them. So, does that mean I'm going to live a healthy life? I mean, typically the reason why I make babies cry when I'm around them is because I drop them every time people hand me their baby. I'm kidding. I don't drop them, but like I mean, at least one. At least I'm gonna live a healthy life. I'm like, oh, I made the little buddy cry. You know, he he may never walk normal ever again, but you know what? At least I know I have some good luck on my side. I'm gonna live a long and healthy life. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you for handing me your child. And I don't know why. Do sumo wrestlers just get up in the baby's face and just go, ooh, and then all of a sudden the baby starts crying. They're like, yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm going to live a long, healthy life. You know? Yeah, I'm going to be 75 years old. I can live all the way to 75 being 650 pounds. Exactly. No, you can't. I don't even know what the average lifespan of a sumo wrestler is. Let's look that up. The average. What is the average lifespan for a sumo wrestler? What do we got here? Between 60 and 65. That's a lot longer than I thought. Because over here in America, where we're like king capital of obesity, a lot of our people can't even make it that long. There's this place called the Heart Attack Grill. I think, yeah, it's the Heart Attack Grill. It originated in Arizona. Now it's in Las Vegas. And it basically, promotes making food that will give you a legit heart attack. You can look more in onto this. It's crazy stuff. The waitresses dress like nurses. The manager and the owner dresses like a doctor. They make you wear like this whole like gown thing. It's wild. But their motto is food that would give you a heart attack. I think it's something like that. But yeah. And the average person that goes in, and if you're over 350 pounds, you get to eat for free. All these sumo wrestlers can eat for free. They literally weigh at least double that, or a little over that. They can eat there for free at the Heart Attack Grill, and literally still, I don't know how they would live between 60 and 65. I mean, their diets are crazy. I've seen YouTube videos of how sumo wrestlers eat. They eat all this sushi, but it's pretty good stuff, I guess. I don't know. But it's amazing how they just how they can live for that long and just still be able to eat all that food and live. And Americans. What the average that we would live is like in our 50s. If you eat like that, I think maybe 50s, maybe even 40s if you're that big. I mean, there's no way. No way. That lifespan. Oh, man, that is awful. But yes, making babies cry for the enjoyment and just the fact that it would make you have good luck. I guess that's fine. It would be. And then, like, guess what? If, there might be an addition to that. If the sumo wrestler makes the baby cry and then later that next day they find out that same baby they made cry died of SIDS, then they're champions. That means they're absolute champions. That has to mean that. Like, if I got someone offended, like, while I'm at a comedy show, and then that night they also, like, got into an awful car accident, dude, that means I'm going to, like, destroy and kill in my next 5 to 10 sets that I'm going to do. Next 5 to 10 comedy shows, I will literally destroy in. That's what that means. That I like that philosophy. I don't know who started that or who created that. That sounds like, if it's coming from Japan, I don't know if Confucius is Japanese. It may be Chinese, but it's somewhere in Asia. Either way, it could be a Confucius. It could be a Buddhist thing. I don't know. A monk thing. Either way, I am fully backed on behind it, and that's where I'm going to, I'm going to make that dedicated part of my comedy now. I get one person offended, that means that set's going to kill. But if I offend, but that person that did get offended gets in, like, an awful car accident, or something awful happens to them, like they choke on the burger at McDonald's, they get, you go through a drive-thru and they choke on that McDonald's burger or the french fries or whatever, and they're having hard time, like they're just gotta go to the hospital because of it. Boom, I'm gonna be killing in my next 10 sets, or I'm gonna be killing for a long time, or that means I'm gonna make it. That means, oh wow, I'm gonna make it rich off of it. Then at that point, that's what that means. Thanks, Sumo Wrestling, for clearing that up. Oh, awful things happen to people for a reason, and it's so you can understand that good things will be coming to you. Confucius. Is that what Confucius says? I don't know. No, that's what Dawson I Go Hard, the last I Go Hard podcast says. That's just stamp that. Get that tattooed on your body. Man. But since now that we're getting into towards the ending of the podcast before I get to the news article, I guess I will now answer another question. I didn't set the alarm anymore because it was supposed to go in 10-minute increments and I went 20 minutes. So I'm just going to basically just answer the questions in between and whenever I want to. Since we are now done with the fun fact portion, I'm going to be just answering another question, Jeopardy style, in tribute to Alex Trebek. What is the next question? What movie would be greatly improved if it was made into a musical? I'm going to repeat that question because I kind of had a weird pause because I can't read for some reason. What movie would be greatly improved if it was made into a musical? I don't know. I'm trying to think. What movie would be? Oh, I got one. 300. Boom. 300. That would be great. Just so I can hear, "This is Sparta," somehow made into singing. Oh, that would be great. All of a sudden he's dancing around and he just goes, "This is Sparta." And then he kicks that dude down that hole. But he kicks him down gradually, and the guy goes, "No," and he sings in a certain octave that makes it sound beautiful. That'd be awesome. Or in 300 at the end when they get killed by all those arrows. I don't know how they would turn that into a musical. Maybe if they made the arrows sing somehow. Or, I don't know. Like there's a beat that drops with the arrows. All of a sudden the arrows are hitting everybody and it's just Beethoven just slamming on the piano. Dun, 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 dun. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. So 300 would be great turned into a musical. Just, and then a bunch of, I forgot. Every musical has to have orphans. So in 300, we would have orphans that would come in and sing a great certain octave as the arrows fly through the air and they hit every one of the Spartans. There you go. That'd be great. Add orphans into 300 and we can make this musical thing going. Come on, Hollywood. It's COVID season. You got to have fresh ideas. Here at the Last I Go Hard podcast, I'm dishing them. You better be writing them down. I'm telling you, if there's a 300 musical and I wasn't aware that you were making it, that means someone's snooping on my podcast, taking my fresh ideas, and making millions off of it. No. That's going to be suing Hollywood. I will sue you. I will sue the whole state of California for that act. I think the whole state of California would be behind that one. Either that or the Drugs Inc. documentary. I love that documentary, by the way. I am not going to get into it because it's going to take another hour and a half for me to explain all of it. But I love that documentary, so if you can somehow make a musical about making, selling, and distributing drugs, awesome. I have cocaine selling at this much of a gram. Would you like some? Yes, I would. Oh, delicious. I don't know. That's something I would think. So, drug documentary. Great musical as well. And so we move on to the news article. Still don't have music, so play music. Pause this. Play some music. Come back to it. And I'm not waiting up for you. So we're going to move on into the news article. What do we have into the news article for you today, you ask? Well, it is something different. I don't like picking news that's already out there that people can easily get access to. No, I dig deeper. I talk about the news that most people wouldn't really typically talk about. So, today is about my own state, the natural state of Arkansas. What is going on in Arkansas, you ask? Well, obviously something not good, and I know because this state is absolutely terrible. I don't like it at all. I wish I was still in Texas in some ways, just because of this awful state. And Arkansas even knows that they're awful because of this news article. Arkansas group offering $10,000 in a free bike to new residents. Yeah. So they're basically bribing people to move to Arkansas. Let's look deeper. Yep. An economic development organization in Northwest Arkansas is seeking to lure new residents to the area with an offer of $10,000 in a free bicycle. Ooh, $10,000 in a free bicycle, and you want me to move to some bodunk place up in Northwest Arkansas? You got yourself a deal. I will move right now if you give me 10 grand and a free bicycle. I mean, I'll be out of the living room. Where do I make the first call? Who do I call? Actually, does it say this in the article who I need to call? Applications are currently being accepted on the website. Oh, there's a website? I'm clicking on this website. Talent. North America, $1 million over 6 months to attract top talent to the region through the life works here. Wow. Sounds like I'm going to have to apply. I will move up to Northwest Arkansas if they give me 10 grand and a free bicycle. I don't care how terrible it is. It's more like some small Boduck town that no one cares about. Just, why are you here? Well, I got $10,000 and a free bicycle out of it. Really? You got $10,000 and a free bicycle to move this place? You got it. Heck yeah. That's a deal. That's a deal and a steal. And then I'll sell the bicycle, get me an extra few $100s, and then I got $10,000 and some pocket change. Yeah, a few $100s is pocket change to me. Yeah. I wish a few $100s is pocket change to me. I'm over here making minimum wage. $10,000 for moving to someplace I don't even know about. Sounds tasty to me. There has to be an issue behind that. I wonder what the catch is. Like, it's probably in like some terrible area where like the murder rate is completely high. You have like a small chance of living past 5 years there. Hey, but if the place looks nice, I can get some nice fresh scenery. I would love to be stabbed in fall. If I was going to be stabbed in a town, it would definitely be fall, because while I'm getting stabbed, I want my blood to be the same color as the trees. Just be like, oh, man, I think I'm dying, but at least this red looks great. It gives me a nice mood and setting. It complements the red and then yellow. Oh, all the nice hues combined together. Thank you for stabbing me in fall. Oh, man, $10,000 in a bicycle. Man, you have everybody listening to this podcast signing up for that application right now. I bet you are all on the website right now going, where do I sign up first? I have zero money in the bank account right now. I'm going into so much credit card debt. It's ridiculous. I'm going to need some way to dig myself out of it. $10,000 in a bicycle? You got it. Man, that sounds so good right now. Just that money. But Arkansas, the state that I live in, and the state I was born in and raised, the natural state, bribing people to move to their bodunk areas. That's typical Arkansas for you. Bribing people now. Yeah. But guess what? I'm going to answer the last question before we move on into the conclusion, before we move on to anything else, before we conclude this great and awesome podcast. I think this is a successful one. This is definitely topped the charts. This is definitely an episode 27 worthy. I pour my heart out in this podcast like I do. Oh, Man, every time. And I do it for you guys and a little bit of me, but I do it for mostly you guys. Last question. What do I have for the last question for tribute for Alex Trebek? My question to answer Jeopardy style. Who? Nope, not that one. I got it right here. What is something that everyone looks stupid doing? I like that question. What is something that everyone looks stupid doing? What is it, Dawson? What would be something that everyone would look stupid doing? Falling. Yes, falling. Everyone looks stupid falling. Like, I've never heard once someone fall and then be like, dude, did you see that guy fall? That was so majestic and cool. Dude, fall more. Are you a professional father? No. Are you professional faller? Yeah, I've never heard of anybody being professional and falling. Bro, do you professionally fall? That was so majestic and cool. I want to learn to fall like you. That's exactly what I want to do. Is learn how to fall like you, my man. You look so cool. Another thing is spider webs. I was thinking about that too. Spider webs. I went through a spider web the other day and I looked stupid. I know I look stupid for a fact. Running through a spider web, I look like I'm getting stabbed. I look like I'm getting punched by invisible beings. Just, I look like I'm fighting off somebody. That's it, literally. I'm fighting off someone that's trying to like pickpocket me or whatever. I look completely dumb. Completely stupid. But that concludes the Alex Trebek tribute. Rip the best man in Jeopardy. I don't know who they're going to have run Jeopardy. I vote me. I would love to do Jeopardy, even though I can never answer one of their questions right, and my grandma can. But I would love to, just ask the questions. Ask the questions like I know the answer at least. Or if the answer's on the card, I would love to, do that. But I would take over if they would contact me, but it's probably never going to happen. But the offer is out there. Oh, man. But thank y'all for listening to episode 27 of the Last I Go Heart podcast. And I know a lot of people that have been listening every single episode. Episode 27. We are literally running on episode 30. Thank you for listening. This is literally like my daily journal. Not my daily, like my weekly journal, whenever I do it journal. This is literally a journal to me, a vocal journal. And thank you for tuning in and listening to me on my journey and what goes through my head all the time. And once again, I'm going to say it again. Thank you for listening to episode 27. My name is Dawson Eichelhart. This is the Last Eichelhart podcast, and I will see you next Friday.
Eichelhart podcast. You are listening to the Last Eichelhart